It's 8:30. Good morning. I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. Geoscience Australia says a series of earthquakes in the Upper Hunter overnight are amongst the strongest recorded in 10 years. The first struck just south of Muswellbrook at about 3:30 yesterday afternoon, measuring 3.8 on the Richter scale. Another about an hour later recorded a 4.4 magnitude, and a third just after 6 p.m. measured 2.9. A fourth tremor of magnitude 3 hit about 4:15 this morning. Residents reported their homes shaking, power cuts and ripples on the surface of backyard swimming pools. It comes as the region prepares to commemorate the 30th anniversary of the Newcastle earthquake on December 28. An expected heatwave later this week will again put Hunter firefighters on high alert. Singleton is expecting tops of 44 on Thursday and 46 on Saturday, with hot and gusty northwest to northeast winds. Fire crews have taken advantage of cooler conditions overnight to strengthen containment lines around several fires in the Hunter, including the Kerry Ridge blaze in the Muswellbrook Shire, which went to emergency warning level yesterday. All fires across the region are burning at advice level this morning. A man has been charged over a domestic violence incident in the Upper Hunter. It's alleged the 40-year-old became involved in an altercation with a 41-year-old woman on Sunday afternoon at a Merriwar home. Police say he was struck and bitten by the woman before slapping her, causing her to fall backwards and hit her head. She was airlifted to the John Hunter Hospital, where she remains in an induced coma after undergoing surgery. The man's been charged with recklessly causing grievous bodily harm and breaching an AVO. A bill to make it easier for licensed venues to host live music events has been launched in Newcastle. Shadow Music and Nighttime Economy Minister John Graham was joined by Newcastle MP Tim Crackenthorpe on the first stop of a tour promoting Labor's right to play live music bill. A live music task force was launched in Newcastle last year in a bid to improve the city's nightlife. Tim Crackenthorpe says Labor will also be watching the recent appeal of Sydney's lockout laws closely.
It is a much better place, and I think 10 years on, it is time to have a good look at those laws, and if they're successful in Sydney in terms of that repeal, it's something we should really look at here in Newcastle.
A new report shows economic growth has been sluggish in the Hunter over the past financial year. The data, compiled by a Sydney economist, shows growth was only 0.9% in Newcastle during 2018 and 19, compared with a 2.6% increase in Sydney. It can be put down to stagnant wage growth, a decrease in spending and a rise in unemployment. And a mother of three who suffered horrific burns in a camping mishap says she was determined to finish her degree at the University of Newcastle. 32-year-old Jessica Coleman spent 4 weeks on life support after a gas stove exploded during a camping trip to Karua in January last year. Many people told her she couldn't finish her degree due to the extent of her injuries, but Jessica has fought back from her horrific burns and will graduate with a Bachelor of Nursing today. More than 1,000 students are graduating from the university this week.
2NURFM Sport.
Jets coach Ernie Merrick will look to give his bench players more game time when they take on the Glory in Perth on Sunday. Newcastle were completely off their game on Sunday, and Merrick has vowed to freshen up the squad ahead of this week's road trip. He says the likes of Nigel Bogard, Wes Houlihan and Abdiel Arroyo are still on the injury list.
I could freshen up 5 or 6 players, but I haven't got people to put in there. None of the injured players are going to be available next week.
Toronto professional Nathan Green will join a host of up-and-coming talent when he tees off in the Jack Newton Celebrity Classic at Cessnock this afternoon. He's also a first reserve for the $1.5 million Australian PGA Championships, which start on Thursday at Royal Pines on the Gold Coast. And after taking a year off, the experienced crew of She's the Culprit will join 6 other boats from the Hunter for the 75th anniversary of the Sydney to Hobart Yacht Race. They hope to follow up their second place in the PHS Championship in 2017 with another podium finish this year. And the winning numbers in Monday Lotto are 30, 45, 17, 20, 42 and 37, and the supplementaries are 39 and 8. 2NURFM News Time, 26 to 9.